Charisma, the invisible force that makes men follow without question, that draws people like moths to a flame. History remembers leaders, conquerors, prophets, and tyrants alike, not because they had the strongest armies or the most money, but because they carried that dangerous spark, the power to captivate, to command, to seduce minds without lifting a sword. And yet, what most never realize is that charisma has a shadow. It is not pure light, it is a weapon. And like all weapons, it cuts both ways. Think about it. Every cult leader who drove men and women to ruin, every politician who dragged entire nations into destruction, every manipulator who rose from nothing to control others, all of them relied not on brute strength, but on the dark side of charisma. People rarely question someone who makes them feel special, seen, or inspired. And therein lies the danger. Because when you learn how to wield this force, you can move crowds, bend loyalty, and even make your enemies destroy themselves, while believing they made the choice willingly. Niccolò Machiavelli once wrote, "Men are driven by two principal impulses, either by love or by fear. But the truly dangerous leader knows how to blur these impulses into one. The charismatic tyrant does not force obedience. He makes obedience feel natural, even pleasant. That is why charisma is so effective. People want to follow you. They believe it was their idea. And when someone thinks it was their choice, they will defend you even against their own interests." Picture your workplace, a colleague who speaks with confidence, who jokes at the right time, who knows everyone's name and looks them in the eye. Notice how people bend toward them. Opportunities flow, doors open, promotions appear. Not because they are the most qualified, but because their aura convinces others they must be. This is charisma at work, subtle, constant, almost invisible. And those who lack it, they are overlooked, dismissed, ignored. In life, merit alone rarely decides who rises, perception does. But here is where the shadow grows darker. The charismatic manipulator doesn't only use charm to win hearts. He uses it to disarm suspicion. A charming smile hides ruthless ambition. A carefully crafted compliment buys silence. A gesture of warmth cloaks an act of cold calculation. You may think you are too clever to be manipulated, but charisma bypasses logic. It targets something deeper: emotion. And emotion always beats reason when timed correctly. Look at Julius Caesar. His military brilliance mattered, yes, but what secured his rise was charisma. The way he spoke to his soldiers as if each man was a brother. The way he spent time among them, eating the same food, enduring the same hardships. He was not merely a general. He was their hero, their chosen one. And so when he crossed the Rubicon and defied Rome itself, men followed him. Willingly, eagerly, as if it were destiny. Charisma turned loyalty into fanaticism. Or consider the modern stage. The influencer who makes millions not because they offer anything groundbreaking, but because they know how to look into a camera, smile at the right moment, and say just enough to make you feel like they're talking only to you. Their power does not come from expertise, it comes from presence, and presence, in its dark form, is addictive. Once people taste the drug of feeling seen and led, they crave more. That craving is how charismatic individuals turn followers into devotees. Before we go deeper, pause and ask yourself this: how many of the people you admire are truly authentic? And how many are just excellent performers? If you want to uncover more psychological truths that strip away the illusions of charm and power, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell, because what comes next will make you immune to the most dangerous manipulators you'll ever meet. But here's the Machiavellian truth. Charisma without restraint is not leadership, it is seduction. And seduction always carries corruption. The more you use charisma, the more people will trust you blindly. And the more people trust you blindly, the more tempted you will be to abuse that trust. This is the dark current that pulls men from leaders into tyrants. That is why history is littered with charismatic figures who rose like gods, only to fall like devils. Now, what about your life? Have you noticed how charisma plays out in your relationships? The friend who always convinces the group to go their way. The partner whose charm makes you forget the red flags. The coworker who talks circles around everyone until their mistakes are overlooked. Charisma protects the clever and blinds the naive. If you learn to see it, you cannot be fooled. If you learn to wield it, you cannot be ignored. This is not about faking a smile or memorizing cheap tricks. True charisma is about control, of voice, of body, of timing. It is about speaking slowly when others rush, holding silence until it burns, maintaining eye contact one heartbeat longer than expected. These micro movements feel trivial, but they accumulate power. People cannot resist those who appear grounded, unshaken, certain. In a world full of noise, charisma is silence used as a blade. But here lies the most dangerous lesson. Charisma allows you to rewrite reality. If you can make someone feel something strongly enough, they will believe it to be true even if it isn't. You don't need facts when you control feelings. And when you control feelings, you control decisions. This is why every great manipulator throughout history mastered charisma. It is not just about being liked, it is about bending perception itself. So what does this mean for you? First, recognize it. Notice who in your world wields charisma and ask yourself, what do they gain from it? Are they lifting you, or using you? And second, practice it. Stop waiting to be recognized for merit alone. Learn to shape presence. Learn to command a room. Learn to speak with rhythm. Pause with weight. And look as though you already know the outcome. Because the world does not reward silence, it rewards influence. Machiavelli warned us, it is not titles that honor men, but men that honor titles. Charisma is the art of making the title fit you rather than waiting for a title to define you. But beware. When you step onto this path, you are walking among wolves, because once you learn to bend hearts and minds, the temptation will come to bend them for yourself alone. That is when charisma turns from art to weapon. Ask yourself, do you want to be the one enchanted or the one who enchants? The one who follows or the one who is followed? This is the choice the dark side of charisma forces upon you. Understand it and you will never be the same again. Ignore it and you will always be prey to those who master it before you. If you found these revelations useful, share this video with someone who needs to wake up from the spell of charm. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and step into the knowledge that makes you immune to manipulation, deception, and the subtle art of power. Charisma can inspire, but it can also enslave. The difference lies not in the speaker, but in your ability to see through them. Learn to wield it wisely, or be consumed by it.